Hey everybody, on one of my recent guitar Q&A live streams, someone asked a great question. When is the right time to begin working on bar chords? Now, I think my answer might surprise you, but stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a lot of practical advice on mastering bar chords. Check it out. Brian is asking a good question. Oh, it's a great question, in fact. Okay. Brian asks, when is the right time to learn bar chords as a beginner guitarist? Excellent question. I would put off learning bar chords as long as possible. We're talking about getting your fretting hand as limber as possible, strong, flexible, coordinated, before you approach, this whole task of bar chords, so you don't get so frustrated. My number one goal with my own personal students is teach as much non-bar chord stuff as possible, so that when we do start working on bar chords, it's just, you have a big head start because your fingers have already been doing lots of stuff. So all things being equal, if I had a student who was doing lessons with me, say an adult, doing weekly lessons, I could easily go the whole first year of guitar lessons, never even mentioning bar chords, certainly not even working. I'd be fine with that. I have so much material, there is so much material, rewarding, beautiful stuff, that you can go a whole year of playing beautiful, challenging, rewarding stuff and never touch a bar chord. Meanwhile, your fretting hand is getting, like I said, limber, flexible, more confident, between year one and year two. Yeah, that sounds like a good. Now what I'm talking about, though, is someone who's committed, right? They're practicing every day or virtually every day. They're taking lessons once a week. If it's someone who's playing once a week, twice a week, for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, nothing wrong with that, no judgment. But then I would never introduce bar chords, because you can't get good at bar chords playing 10 minutes twice a week. It's not fair to your poor fretting hand, Okay, so now here's my advice, because I do encourage you guys to master bar chords. I just don't want you to judge your overall progress on how you're doing on bar chords. They're not that important. There's so many other ways to judge your progress and to take pride in what you're doing, right? Say, oh, I can do X, I can do Y, I can do Z, I can do all this stuff that doesn't involve bar chords at all. Okay, so my advice is overextend your index finger. For the record, Your Honor, my index finger, the tip of my index finger is going way past the fat string. Okay, that gives you some good leverage, I feel like I lose my ability to successfully play bar chords if my index finger essentially stops right at the sixth string. No, go way past the sixth string. Okay, that's one thing. Number two, thumb pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Your thumb should not be pointing in any other direction, straight up towards the ceiling, just like my index finger is also pointing straight towards the ceiling, okay? A huge one. Here's a huge one. My index finger. I'm actually rolling my index finger onto the edge or the side of my index finger. Which side? The side closest to your thumb. I am not squeezing with the center of my index finger, okay? I'm rolling it so that the skin of my index finger, the skin closest to my thumb, that's the skin that's pressing across the strings. You can facilitate that by bringing your left elbow, assuming you're a right-handed player, your left elbow should come in towards the guitar. Imagine like you're trying to touch the guitar with your left elbow, okay? That will force you to roll that finger onto the correct side. Here's my E minor, right? Watch my whole arm here. When it's time, I'm going to do an F sharp minor bar chord. Look how my whole arm has to commit to this new chord. I mean, everything just changed, which is usually not the case when you're going from, D, A, C, A minor, right? It's all that your fingers are doing the walking. You get to a bar chord, your whole body has to commit to it. It feels like certainly your shoulder, neck, bicep, okay? So what's my point? Glad you asked. It's one thing to be able to play a bar chord successfully out of context, get a nice clear sound. That's huge. I mean, that's step one, right? and you're not at the top of the mountain yet. You've still got to be able to grab it quickly, but now you're on your way. So then you're at the final step. And I can't emphasize this enough, folks. The all your progress, all my progress happens in stages, and they're kind of predictable stages, or at least they are recognizable stages, So you may have successfully done everything you need to do to be a barre chord player, and you're at the final stage, which is getting to that barre chord quickly, right? You don't want to devalue or ignore the success you've had up to that point, right? You don't want to say, oh, I can't do barre chords. I suck at barre chords. Well, what do you mean? Oh, well, I go to, I'm in the middle of a song. It takes me forever to get there, right? It takes me forever to get there. Yeah, but once you get there, it sounds great. And you memorized it. So you don't even have to look at the paper. Like you've checked all the boxes. You can make it sound good. You've memorized it. You're doing it with, good technique, right? Those things I talked about. So now you're at the final stage. And so you don't want to beat yourself up. Oh, I suck at barre chords. No, you're just at the last part of climbing the mountain, the last part of the marathon. Pick your own metaphor. Oh yeah, Brian, just to follow up, Brian makes a good point. Brian says, thanks for your answer. Really appreciate it. Will learning power chords help with barre chords? Absolutely. How could I forget that? Great stepping stone. Power chord, at a minimum, a power chord gets your fretting hand accustomed to that shape, where your index finger is reaching across the guitar and the ring finger is joining in. At least that's your typical power chord. Great idea. Yeah. So Brian, you could be a guitar teacher, because that's exactly what someone within the first year should be mastering, power chords, so that in the second year, barre chords are that much easier. Perfect. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, everybody. I hope this video gave you some things to think about and gave you some strategies so you can begin mastering barre chords. Don't forget, my guitar Q&A live stream is every Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. You can text in your questions live, and I answer as many as I can over the course of a couple of hours. And if you can't make it live, all the live streams are recorded. In fact, I have a playlist right here on my YouTube channel of all the previous live streams. So whether you check it out live or watch the recorded live streams, I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. Okay, everybody, take care. I'll see you next time.